Sometimes the best thing you can do is stop chasing people who are more than comfortable with losing you. A lot of anxiety when it comes to friendships and relationships doesn't come from social pressure. It doesn't come from money and status. It actually comes from knowing that there are people out there who are very comfortable with the concept of losing you and making your life worse off because of it. You see, when you grow up, it's very tough to learn about dealing with these sort of things. We're never really taught these things in school. We're taught about how important Pythagoras theory is and who died on what date and how lava is formed, but we never learn about the important things of how to deal with relationships. But I came across this theory the other week of the let them theory. It's a popular one in self-improvement now. And I actually like it because you see, the most difficult part of handling relationships is actually letting go and moving on. I've had experiences where I haven't really been able to stop thinking about a friend for a long, long time. And it really does play on your mind. And you would think that you follow the heroic action of just taking that action to stop talking to them and moving on. But actually, that's where the pain really begins. It's a random example, but I remember watching a 50 Cent interview, and he said that when he got shot 9 times, it wasn't actually the pain, the physical pain of being shot that hurt him the most. What hurt him the most was that emotional pain trying to battle back from his injuries. But the concept is quite similar here. When you actually leave someone, the hardest part isn't actually leaving them in the first place. The hardest part is trying to let them go, especially if that person was probably not with you for the best of intentions, which sounds ironic because it should be easier. But actually, as humans, we have this desire, this need to want to be loved and appreciated and accepted by everyone. And when we lose that, it impacts us in different ways. Some people can become quite reclusive and stay at home and become really locked in their shell. Others just fake it till they make it. They have this different breed of confidence that they try and put on as a mask to kind of cope with the impact of losing someone. And then there's people who genuinely do take the time to reflect and think about what this person going actually does for their life. It's not easy, and it's still something that I'm trying to deal with. I think understanding this theory alone, though, isn't going to help you with your relationships, because there's a second part to this that you need to figure out. It's not just about letting them go. That's more of a fairy tale, in the sense that if you let them go, you'll magically be able to move on with your life. But that's not the way that we work. It's the way it works in movies, but not how it works in real life. And so the second part to it is, this is where I pause. I need to check the let them theory again, because I think there was 2 parts to this. You see, the second part of this is actually thinking about, what should I do now? And to me, that is that, yes, you've let that person go, but what can you focus on? What inward actions can you take to actually move on from what has happened and move forward with your life? Because no matter where you are in your self-improvement journey, there will always be moments where you come across someone, you let go of someone. There will always be moments where you let go of someone and it takes a while for you to bounce back. And that's okay, because, you know, I've had cases where I've been thinking about a friend for several months, or, you know, thinking about whether I made the right choice or not in the end. But I guess also part of it comes down to faith. Like for me, there's a reason why God introduced this person in my life and why God took them away from my life. So I guess it's more of a sobering moment that sometimes it's okay that you don't have to like understand why something's happened. It's more just accepting it and thinking about how you can improve. Every experience is a learning experience. I think the best way to do it is to take accountability for where you went wrong and then thinking about how you can become a better person off the back of it. Maybe that person was just really toxic and you took too long to find that out. There were a lot of red flags. I know people who have gone through that situation, but it's about, okay, how can I make sure I don't get locked in emotionally so that I can see with clarity what's going on? And I think people will definitely say, well, this theory is too simplistic. It's like a toxic way of thinking about life and social relationships. But I would argue that those criticisms may be valid, and it may force you to be overly positive when there are times where you need to be level with yourself. But I think that for a first step, if you've just gone through a process, if you've just gone through a moment where you had to let go of someone, and sometimes it takes you a long time to figure out the fact that, okay, I need to actually get away from this person, because it's not the behaviors that make you actually want to go away from a person. It's the fact that you may have known this person for a long time. They may make you feel a certain way, a positive way, and you may be scared of the aftermath, the consequences of breaking off from that person. But I think just try and approach it with a level head and think about, will this person still have an influence in my life in a year's time, 5 years' time? Because then you can start to weigh up the long-term effects of leaving that person, whether it's a relationship or a friendship. It applies to pretty much any sort of connection we have. And so I'd say that if you're going through this right now, just use this as a first step. Number one, let people think what they want to think about you, because there's only so many things you can control in your life. You know, you've got your career, you've got your interests, you've got your family, you've got other relationships, you've obviously got family or finances that play more of a role in your life when you're in your 20s and your 30s. But you can't control how others feel about you. You can't control how others will think about you after you move on from them. You know, there's never been a human in history who has been liked by every single person in the world. And I think that alone is a bit of a crumb of comfort, if there is any, in a difficult situation like you may be facing. So I would say that, and I would say also just think about the standards that you have for yourself, the respect that you have for yourself, because if you have some form of self-respect for yourself, you'll notice some of these signs early, and you'll set boundaries to make sure that it doesn't have a negative effect on you in the long term. So that's what I wanted to share in this video. And if you want to talk more about deeper topics like this, then feel free to book a call with me down in the description, and we'll get to talking. Peace out.